So, what does it really take to turn a curious student into a leader who's ready to take on the corporate world? Today, we're diving into the journey offered at SNS. It's a path that's designed to do more than just educate. It's meant to completely redesign how students think, create, and innovate. Let's break down how they do it. You've probably heard the saying, every great journey begins with curiosity. Well, at SNS, that's not just a nice quote. It's literally the starting line. This whole journey isn't for people who just want a piece of paper. It's for those ambitious minds who are hungry to turn that little spark of curiosity into real-world impact. Okay, but how do you navigate a journey that big and that transformative? Well, you need a compass. At SNS, every student is steered by a core set of principles. Think of it as the true north that guides every single decision, project, and innovation. Now, this foundation is built on two things. On one hand, you've got their 3P culture. That's purpose, process, and people. This is basically how they get things done, having a clear why, using smart systems, and putting people first. Then on the other hand, you have the core values that provide the ethical backbone: sincerity, nobility, and service. This is the character that shapes every action. In all of those principles, that entire compass, it all points toward one single powerful vision: to redesign how we think about business and solve problems. You see, it's not just about making individuals better. It's about lifting up entire industries to a whole new level of excellence. So we get the why behind this whole journey. But what about the how? How do students actually go from being learners to becoming genuine innovators? Let's get into the core method they use. At the very heart of the SNS method is something called design thinking. And listen, this isn't just another buzzword or a course they make you take. It's treated like the DNA of the institution. It's a fundamental mindset that teaches students to look at challenges not as problems, but as amazing opportunities for creative, human-centered solutions. So, what does that mindset look like in practice? Well, it follows 4 really clear, actionable steps. First, you start by truly empathizing. You have to understand the real-world challenges people are facing. Next, you ideate. You generate tons of innovative solutions, no bad ideas at this stage. From there, you prototype. You build something real and tangible to test those ideas. And finally, you implement it to deliver a real, measurable impact. This is literally how thinkers become doers. And what's the whole point of this process? The end goal is to build an entrepreneurial mindset. In a world that is just getting more complex and is constantly changing, this is the one skill that matters most. It means graduates aren't just looking for jobs, they're equipped to create value and lead the charge no matter what comes their way. Now, a mindset like that isn't built out of thin air, right? It's developed through a really comprehensive framework made up of 5 key pillars. These are the major milestones that shape a student into a truly well-rounded professional. The entire SNS experience is built on these 5 interconnected pillars. You start with a rock-solid academic core in learning and teaching. Then you add practical, real-world skills through career development, spark new ideas in the Creativity Center, plug into the real world with Industry Connect, and you ground it all in a sense of purpose with social responsibility. Let's take a quick look at each one. First up, the academic core, learning and teaching. This is not about sitting in a lecture hall memorizing old textbooks. Nope. This is about achieving excellence with passionate mentors and a curriculum that's actually designed to solve the problems of tomorrow, not the problems of yesterday. Next, we have skill and career development, which is all about taking learning outside the classroom. Through clubs, competitions, and serious placement training, students don't just get knowledge, they build the hands-on skills and the professional confidence they need to crush it from day one. The third pillar is the Center for Creativity. Okay, this is where the magic really happens. It's where theory gets real. In these hands-on innovation labs and hackathons, students take their biggest, wildest ideas and, with some guidance, actually turn them into tangible, working solutions. Of course, none of this works in a bubble. The fourth pillar, Industry Connect, is absolutely crucial. It's all about bridging that gap between the campus and the real corporate world. Through strategic partnerships, they make sure everything students are learning is directly relevant to what top industries actually need. And finally, the fifth pillar, Social Responsibility. This is what ties it all together. It's about making sure that leadership is grounded in purpose. Through community work and social service, students learn that their skills aren't just for building a career, they're for making a real positive impact on the world. So, after a journey guided by all these principles and pillars, what's the actual outcome? What do you get? Well, you get a new generation of leaders who are empowered, incredibly skilled, and totally ready to make an impact. And honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. Let's start with this one, 95%. What does that mean? That is the placement rate. And that's not just a statistic. It's proof that nearly every single graduate walks out of SNS and straight into a meaningful career at a top organization ready to hit the ground running. So you might be asking, how in the world do they get a rate that high? Well, it definitely helps when you have a network of over 200 corporate partners. And this isn't just a list of logos on a website. It's an active, breathing ecosystem where students connect with and learn from the best in the business. But for me, this next number is the real showstopper. 50 plus. That's how many alumni have gone on to launch their own successful startups. This is the ultimate proof of that entrepreneurial mindset we were talking about. SNS graduates aren't just job seekers, they are job creators. When you boil it all down, this is what it's all about. Redesigning minds, reinventing futures. It's such a powerful idea. It shows that by fundamentally changing the way we think, we can change not just our own futures, but the futures of the industries we're a part of. And so, this entire journey, from that first spark of curiosity all the way to becoming a leader, it really leaves us with one final, very important question. And it's a question for every innovator, every leader, and every curious mind listening right now. What future will you design?